And we've started streaming. I'm still offline. It says still offline. And it says it's live. Cool.
Awesome.
Back to Practical Self-Help. It's been about a month since we did one of these. But we're back on. I'm Rob.
I'm Jim.
And this is Practical Self-Help. What I wanted to talk to, I heard a quote on the internet the other day. Sorry, my chair's messed up. Heard a quote on the internet the other day, and I thought it was really pertinent to the things that I just went through on my little vacation. For any of you guys out there, we were gone for a month. I went on vacation to South America, so had a good time. But it was a quote by Teddy Roosevelt that says, comparison is the thief of joy. And I thought that was so cool. Before I left for my vacation, I was at work and I was talking to a guy at my work, and we're here in Midland, Texas. And he said that he had never seen the ocean before. Born in West Texas, raised in West Texas, never been out of here before. And I thought, dude, how sad is that? Like, my life is so full. Like, it's so great. Like, I'm going to South America for the second time this year. But when I was down there on this trip, I went to dinner one night. There was about 8 expats.
Right.
You know, people, Americans that were down there. And there were 4 guys at our dinner table under the age of 40 who were retired, self-made millionaires. and I just kept sitting there thinking, what a piece of garbage I am. Like, not so much a piece of garbage, but like, they're not any smarter than anybody I know.
Yeah.
They're not like Bill Gates or a Zuckerberg, where they invented one thing that made them $1 billion.
Right.
It's just this, you know, maybe they just started younger. I don't know the whole, you know, one guy was in real estate and he owns dozens, if not hundreds of apartment buildings. He started off when he was 18 years old with a duplex. Instead of buying a house like a lot of people do when they get a, you know, he bought a duplex, and then he rolled that into the next one, Just hustlers, you know, just pure hustlers. And what I got from this whole thing was persons with minds like mine, like we call alcoholic mindset or whatever.
Yeah.
I have so much self-reflection upon outside influences. The way I think about myself is so often determined by the things around me. I don't know if like a person that doesn't have that kind of alcoholic mind or whatever, like a normal person, when they're wealthy, they're still themselves. When they're poor, I think they're still themselves. I mean, everybody goes through that spectrum of depression and gratitude and, you know, sublime bliss and whatever, you know. But I think most people they are themselves no matter what kind of happens. Whereas the type of person I am, it's like the outside factors are so determined to help me or influence upon me my determination of who I am.
Gotcha.
You ever feel that way?
I do. And I've heard that quote before. The comparison is the thief of joy. You know, I think for me it was that experience we've talked about before, like being on Facebook with people we went to high school with and seeing how well they're doing in their own lives, and then comparing it to where I am, and it somehow diminishes in my head, not in reality, just in my head, it diminishes my own accomplishments, the things that have happened that I've been able to do in my own life. And you know, I think that I've heard this said as well along those same lines, that keeping a big part of recovery is gratitude, keeping in a mindset of gratitude. But the weakest form of gratitude is also comparison. At least I'm not blank, you know, at least I'm not crippled. At least I'm not poor, at least, whatever it is. Right. And, you know, just simply stating like I have a place to live, I have food to eat, I'm relatively healthy, those kind of things without the comparison. I think the comparison taints the gratitude, and it also taints on the other side, like you said, it taints those things that are good. You're sitting in Colombia on vacation,
In rainforest.
yeah, in a rainforest, but you're still comparing yourself to these other people that are they're there permanently, or they're retired,
Or at
and
a
you have
whim.
to come back. Yeah, on a whim, and you have to come back to work. You have to save for months to get to the point where you can go on this vacation. Those kind of things, and cut corners, and maybe not stay in the place you'd like to stay, or whatever it is.
The length of time.
The length you want to stay, fly first class, you name it. You can. And you know, for me, it's the same thing. I can walk out and certainly see, just in our town that I'm not real fond of.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be here, but but I can go out there and I can see, oh, it's a nice day. There's a nice breeze, sun shining, the air's clear. My allergies aren't acting up. I hit all the green lights on the way to wherever I'm going. Blah blah blah. But then, you know, one thing sort of. I run across somebody that maybe I went to high school with, and they're driving in a really nice car, and I've got my shitty little minivan or whatever it is, and all of a sudden it snowballs the other direction. And for me, that's a really hard thing not to do. The comparing my insides to whatever I'm seeing as your outside.
But it's crazy how fast you can go. I can go from being so thankful and so like such a good day. Like I remember that day. I'm having such a good day. Amazing day. Got a cute girl with me. I'm in Barrio Conquistador. We travel up to Poblado. We go to this great outdoor steakhouse. I'm just having the best time. We sit down and the conversation starts, and this guy, he's like 35 years old. He's like, yeah, I'm retired. You're just like, oh, like it's like a switch.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy.
It is crazy. And I think it's I don't know that it's specific to the alcoholic or the addicted mind or addict mind. I mean, because when I talk to people that aren't in recovery, that aren't, you know, alcoholics or addicts, and I really talk to them, you know, there are some people that are unaware almost. They, you know, that superpower that we talked about before, that when bad things happen, or they can see somebody who's doing better than them, and maybe it's a motivating factor. It's not a depressant. But I think a lot of people, I mean, that frame of mind and Western culture in general, I think lends to that, because everything that we see, all the media that we take in, that's commercialized is telling, I believe, is telling us, like, we're not doing good enough. You need this car, you need this thing to make things complete.
Right.
And that idea is, if when I get here, I'll be okay. Learning just how to be okay. That's for me, that's been my big struggle my whole life. Right. Certainly my whole life in recovery, just being enough right now. Because even though I didn't grow up poor or impoverished, I've never really lacked anything that I've needed in my life.
Sure. Without a doubt.
Yeah. But there's still this feeling of scarcity. Like I don't have enough.
Right. And
something I heard recently was, there's like two ends of that spectrum, scarcity and abundance.
Right.
And it seems like an either or choice, like either not enough or a plenty.
Right.
But there is that middle area of things are enough right now, and trying to kind of live there in that middle place.
Yeah,
helps not to compare so much.
I didn't feel like I didn't have enough. Like, I'm, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't felt like I was. It's just, I wish my sponsor used to say, like, whenever you see someone driving a nicer car than you, just. He used to say, he didn't used to say pray for him, but it was like, good for him.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard for me to get to that point where it's like you see someone that's done really well and go, dude, awesome, good for you. You know what I mean? It's really hard for me to do that because somehow I feel like it's a self-reflection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though, you know, like I said, 5 minutes before, I felt like I'm in abundance. I'm in super abundance, and I'm super grateful and having the greatest day. And then someone has a little bit more than me. Instead of having that mindset of like, man, good for him. That's awesome. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
He deserves it. He worked hard. You know, you never see the work behind the spoils.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. Just it was a weird feeling I had that night at that restaurant. And for like 2 hours, I was just like in my head about it. In my head about it. Like, why couldn't I have achieved all that? You know what I mean? Well,
Yeah.
until I was 35, I was smoking dope.
True.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I made my own bed. You know, you lie in it, you figure out where you're at, and then you move on from there. It was just a weird, I think that's the key is, you know, a lot of these things are learned behaviors. They're just learned behaviors. No matter what you think your mind is telling you, to get to a point where I could be happy that you succeeded without without thinking that it's a reflection of myself.
Right. Without getting bummed that I didn't succeed.
That I didn't
Yeah.
that I didn't achieve the same thing
Yeah.
by the same time period. The
Yeah.
story's not written yet.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean we're not going to achieve that.
Right.
It's just that at that moment, period in time, I'm bummed that I haven't achieved what you have achieved.
Yeah.
You know. But, you know, I think it's a learned behavior, so that's something that, I don't know, maybe I want to work on.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely need to work on. Because my mindset went from happy as shit to sad as shit. And then we were talking about yesterday, I went to a meeting here in Midland, and I'm sitting there thinking exactly what you said a minute ago. At least I'm not these guys. At least I'm not all sad on a couch
Yeah.
talking about my problems. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, that's, you know, I've found that when I'm someone gave me a piece of advice one time that I guess worked for a little while, but whenever I saw somebody that had a lot of stuff, stuff comes with problems. You know, stuff comes with maintenance and being concerned about the stuff and protecting the stuff and insuring the stuff, and to think about how complicated someone's life must be who has an abundance of things, material things. But I felt like that was sort of the same as comparing to, well, at least I'm not that guy.
Right.
Like finding some excuse why their life may suck, or you know, like
might be not perfect.
Yeah. And I think, you know, for me, from my perspective, is finding, like, if I look around with somebody, let's say a guy that I got clean with back in 2000 when I first came in and got clean, who we were in the same position, we didn't have shit, we worked at Starbucks or waited tables or whatever. And now they're a landman, right, and they're worth several $1 million. Right. I can get in that same frame of mind, like, wow, if only I had made XYZ decision, and things might be different, and then I might be as happy as them, and then I might be. And it really takes me out of the things that I do truly have today, real things to be grateful for, without comparing. Right. You know, I do have, not like I said, I've got a place to sleep and enough to eat. I have a great relationship with my son. My relationship with my wife is growing each day and kind of repairing all the things that happened a year and a half ago. I have a therapist I can see every week. I've got good friends. Although I'm not real fond of Midland, I'm fairly comfortable here. Yeah. You know, it's not a constant party. Right. But when I talk to my friends, and this is a place where I can say, just from their experience, when I talk to my buddy in Houston, he's kind of sitting in his apartment too. Mm-hmm. Like, not everybody who lives in a kick-ass town is doing kick-ass stuff all the time. Definitely. They're going to work. They're doing the same things that we are. And that does help me kind of keep perspective that it's not, over there, it's not awesome all the time either. Right. You know, it's... well, in Medellin, Colombia, it's awesome all the time. All the time. Every night. Yeah. Yeah. It's like in Austin, 6th Street. Yeah. They've got Poblado, Parque Lleras, Calle 70. They have little districts where every single night of the week, there's hundreds of people walking up and down. Yeah. So at any moment you feel like getting out of your house, you know where to go. Yeah. And there'll be thousands, hundreds, if not thousands of people walking around enjoying themselves. Yeah. I want to move there so bad. But I'm broke. Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to touch on that. That's a topic just to get back in the swing of doing these vlogs, because we haven't done it in a while. Nice. So hopefully it's something for anybody that's watching this, or anybody that watches this, think about, you know, trying to live in gratitude the best I can, and being happy for someone else's success. I think those are the two things I really want to focus on in the next couple months.
and not so much anything is a reflection of myself because I'm doing just fine.
Huh.
Even if I don't believe it sometimes, I'm doing just fine.
Doing just fine.
Thank you.
Thanks.